Okay. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah, it is visible, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
So some of the parts like to take up fast is like how we will be managing the patient once they come to the outpatient department. So something which has to be taken care of is like I would primarily think is training our staff is very important because unless and until they are not getting properly trained, it would be difficult for us to manage which patient to be taken and not. So is it visible, sir?
Yes, visible.
Okay, then what I have to change
Have you changed the slide?
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. So the
Yeah.
important thing would be to take the voluntary understanding from our staff also that they would be working in this type of situations, how to train them properly, document their staff addresses also along with their family members and well to look them that from where they are coming actually. Because if there should not be our entry point of COVID patients and the lockdown pass, I think everyone should be having with them to the collector office. So that is very important that we give them to our staff. We don't misuse it because it's our responsibility. The hospital part has to be like kept it as simple as possible with the utmost diagnostics, at least on a single floor. The optical shop, if we are having, the entry should be very limited, especially the pharmacy door has to be kept closed. Only you can use the billing counters. All the doors of the clinics, even the consulting chamber has to be kept open so people don't open and close it and touch the knobs and make it more vulnerable. We should reduce the number of seats as Akash talked, but the best thing would be like currently I'm seeing patients not allowing patients to sit inside the outpatient department, let them wait outside and see one by one. So when staff calls them and I see the patient, so there should be a barricade in front of the outpatient desk because usually our front desk they are very close to what the patient speaks. So at least we can put some barricade so they don't come too close to us. We should be having sterilium bottle. Keep one patient, one of our staff, ready with a sterilium bottle. So once the patient and his relative comes in, ensure that he has the mask properly covered over his face, and then only you give them some amount of sterilium in their hand. Tell them that once they have the sterilium, rub it properly, and then don't touch anywhere else, not even their mask or their face or neither of the papers once they have given the sterilium. So a separate washroom we can demarcate for patients and staff and restricting the movement of patients in the unauthorized areas by laying barricades so they don't like roam around when they are sitting idly over there. The concern was like how we can use the N95 mask because that is the main thing we are using it daily. But the AIO All India has given a guidelines that we can use a set of 5 masks, use one at a time. The maximum time which we can use the mask is like 6 to 8 hours without touching the outer surface of the mask. So if we have 5 masks, put them in separate bags and use the first one after 5 days. So that would be used on the sixth day. So we consider that to be safe because we are not knowing that what other mortal uh, like doing a ETO sterilization or keeping it in a formalin chamber or put it in a UV light would reduce its functioning or will kill the virus. So the best thing is it a few days as we bring the household things at home. We don't immediately take it inside. The same thing we can do for the N95 mask. The important thing is the dress for the staff and the doctors. We personally are knowing how we would be using them, but we should be taking care properly of our staff because they would be constantly in contact with us because the patient comes, we see them, he leaves within 2 5 minutes, but our staff would be there with them and with us also. So we should be taking care that they manage all these things, the goggles, N95 mask, a separate pair of shoes, and the facial shield which we recently got. So this could be like a self-regulation and a special COVID consent. It's like our staff fills up when the patient first comes. We can write all the details, the patient number, the relative's number, and keep the history, keep this paper again when the patient comes back. So patient intake has to be restricted, and as Dr. Purval sir rightly mentioned, we can check the Arogya Setu app of the patient, and we need a smart staff to answer the patient on phone, and she should be smart and working with us for a long time, so she knows that which patients has to be called and which has not to be called now. How we'll be cleaning the emergency room and waiting halls. So the simplest way is to using 1% sodium hypochlorite because it is available. We can use 1% bacillus acid extra, but using 1% sodium hypochlorite is easy, it is cheap, and we can use it as an often all over the hospital premises very frequently. So as Akash said, avoid dilatation, no interventional procedures, especially no non-contact tonometers like aerosol-based procedures. We can use disposable tono pen tip attenuation. We can do fraction if we are doing. You can do autorefractometer, but we need to see the trial frames are properly cleaned by all the patients which we are changing by alcohol-based sanitizer. One concern which we are as a general ophthalmologist, we always have is conjunctivitis, and as we always reported as a part of the disease spectrum of COVID-19, all patients with conjunctivitis should be considered as suspects and should be examined in isolation with slit lamp, breath shields, and N95 masks. So as I said, our slit lamps, when you start seeing patients, try to have a proper plastic shield in front of the patient, and you can put it. We have many of the videos, but that is very important. As the AIO said, considering the scarcity of the PPEs, so it's best that it is reserved for actual treating of COVID patients or suspect patients or high risk patients. So I would put a question over here, like what would be the time and how many months we should be taking care of all these things, because we are not knowing when we would be coming out. When we should think that this will go on. I just finished the presentation. This is what I thought in my mind, like last when I was preparing. Now we will be having our newer names. Hope we can cover up of this problem very soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Hemal, can I come in?
Yes, please.
Can I come in?
Please identify yourself also.
Manoj Bhatt.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Please ask your question.
Hemal, presentation. I had two questions.
Yes, sir.
Hemal, can you hear me?
Yes, I am audible.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I have two questions. Number one is I have practically experienced that to use facial shield is very difficult when you examine the patient.
Yes, true, sir.
For the reception staff and for the other staff, it is fine. But for the examining doctor, it is very difficult.
That's
And
very
second thing is about the you talked about the policy, which I heard from many people. Policy for the staff, is it mandatory and advisable? I would ask Jethani also his views.
mandatory, compulsory, but we can have it for especially our staff which are needful and those who are working with us for a long period of time. I would request Jethani sir to have his experience over here.
I think it is more safe to have the policy. There is nothing, I mean, there is nothing wrong in that. I mean, it's all personal. I mean, I don't think it is mandatory, but definitely we should have it. And regarding the shield, I completely agree with you, sir, that with shield it is very difficult. But the point is that, it is, yes, sir, please. It is like relearning. I mean, we will have to start from a scratch, and that is what we have to go slow and keep doing things and try to find out what best can be done, because every day you will face new challenges as to how to do this, and we are with the help of X-ray sheet or a transparency sheet, you can put it in the indirect ophthalmoscope, and yes, it is definitely a problem. I mean, obviously,
Even
VLS field is obviously
I can
even
add
the
one thing, sir.
visibility in writing the prescription is extremely difficult.
very true. There's no doubt.
Doc- Manoj Bhatt, sir.
I had,
Eyes.
Can I answer it?
You can window for the eyes, and then like anyways you are wearing specs, so like that will safeguard your eyes.
Can I answer it, sir?
Yes, yes,
Sure.
please.
Yes, I practically I also had a difficulty. So I had put a old CT scan reports of some patient introduced in the slit lamp between our part and the patient's part by removing the eyeglass, and that have a additional safeguard when we are seeing the slit lamp. And in routine, when we are talking with the patient, we can have the facial shield. But when we are seeing the slit lamp and it creates the problem, I practically done this thing.
good solution.
So some barrier between the patient and us all the time. That is what is important. And regarding the two questions in Dr. Hemal's slide, that PPE is reserved for COVID positive patients. I would not agree in that respect, because at this time you don't know which patient is going to have COVID, which patient is not going to have. So you should try to have precautions for all patients. It should be universal precautions applicable to all patients. Cover yourself and your staff as much as possible. It may not be the proper PPE as such, but as much as possible, if you cover, then the risk is less. And the other part regarding how long you will be able to do that, or you need to do this, I would say for this month, the May and June, 2 months we are looking at it definitely. After that, it depends on the number of cases around us. That will guide us on what we should do. But I suspect it will be on for 3 months at least. And can you make Dr. Harshal Balda
Sir, for PPE kit, it has been guided that whenever
Yes, yes.
Sarji, for the
Yes,
PPE kit, it has been told that whenever we are in contact with the patients
Yes.
for more than 15 minutes, then only it is needed. So in the operation theater or high risk patient only, in OPD we require only N95 mask and facial shield.
Actually, what happens is we cannot actually plan which patient is going to take how much time. Technically, that is not possible all the time. Some patients on examination will take longer time. Sometimes you don't know whether patient or relative has been exposed or not. So it is, if you pick and choose, then you will not be able to do anything. You have to do everything for every patient, then it is easier. Then you can see 10 patients, otherwise you will not be able to see those patients at all.
No, for routinely one patient contact will not be more than 15 minutes, and practically wearing the PPE kit in the OPD is impossible.
Impossible.
So we had to do the practical things only.
No, if you want to take the risk, then it is okay. But even today, there is a report that using PPE surgery being done in SMS hospital in Jaipur, all the surgeons have got positive. Okay, so I would not agree with that statement at all, that you have to do only what is practical, what is possible. You have to follow as much as possible the barriers, the PPE guidelines. Otherwise, you are in for big, especially if you're going close to the patient, and we do end up examining some patients for a longer time. So the viral load may then matter to us, not for a person crossing on the street or casually talking from a distance. And another point here is,
I have a
will
question,
you
Mukesh.
provide N95 mask for your staff? Dr. Jitendra, for your staff, N95 mask?
3-ply.
No, sir, I have given
I use a 3-ply mask. I use a 3-ply mask. I don't use an N95.
I am using N95 for staff.
I have a question, Mukesh.
Yes, yes.
Mukesh, I have a question.
Kalere, please, please. Yes, sir.
Is everyone working with closed chamber and ACs off in this time?
Yes.
AC off.
AC preferably
And-
off.
AC
Today I
should be
read a
off,
report
off,
which
and
says
all the windows
central
should be
and
open.
air conditioning actually recirculates the air and can spread the virus. So if you have a room AC, it can be restricted to that particular room. But if it's a centralized air conditioning, then they advise that it should be put off.
And what if in emergency OT procedure?
So even the room AC, Mukesh sir, can recirculate your viral load back into your room. So
Right, right. It is.
it is
If
preferred
it's
to
window
close
AC,
it off if it is not. If you
if
switch
it
off
is
the
window
AC,
AC, then
window AC is same. It recirculates the cold air back into the room.
Can you make
Only
Dr. Harshal Balda the presenter, please?
Mukesh. Hello.
Yes, Malere sir.
Mukesh, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Hello.
Dr. Solanki. Yes, yes.
Yeah. What's about the documentation? When the patient came to your OPD, which documents you required for documentation?
Documentation is basically you need to record the patient's name, number,
Yes.
if possible, the identification, the Aadhaar
And what
card, and
ID
consent.
proof is must according to our guideline from IMA. Each and every patient's ID, that ID proof is must at present. ID proof and mobile number both.
Yeah, mobile number definitely. ID proof, if you can get it, it's well and good.
Address proof rather.
Address proof, it's very difficult, sir, because many times the address
It's very
mentioned is
difficult.
older address.
Yeah,
And
it's very.
for us, practically, it is not important. But yes, if the patient
And,
turns out to be positive,
and,
then it's a different thing.
and another one more thing that you will have to keep separate register at present.
Yeah, you should
Hello?
be able to trace all the patients who have
Yeah,
come to your
that's why.
OPD
That's why.
at any given
You have
point
to
of time.
trace the
Yeah, you should have a good
legal
record.
for
Agree.
good record and medical legal aspect both.
That is what. If you can trace all your patients with the name and number, that would be
Yeah.
good enough, I would say. Separate register or not. Yes. Now I would
Yeah,
ask Dr. Akshal Balda to start his presentation.